Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel and welcome again to another special video. Today I'll be showing you some of my old works, and I think all of them were made in 2017, the year when I started painting. So I'll be showing you old works that I myself couldn't believe that I did them because they're quite not my style anymore, but they were part of my learning process and my art journey. So I want to share with you. Actually, I've done a similar video about this one, which I will link in the description box below, or maybe up here, somewhere here in this video. But I think this video is going to be different from that previous video because today it will be exclusive for 2017, not just previous years, exclusively for 2017. I'll be showing you some paintings that I really don't like, some paintings that I like, some styles that I tried. So let's begin now. I'm quite excited because this is a review of how I did before, what I did before, and what my style was before. So let's dive into it. So the first painting I'll be showing you, I think the first 4 or 5 paintings that I'll be showing you will be tutorial based paintings from Mr. Mayne Lisandra. He's such a nice kind guy, painter in the Philippines that I really admire. I think my love for the style realism painting wise was sparked by his tutorials. So let me show you one of the first paintings that I've done. I don't know if you find them pretty. For me, they're really they were pretty at that time because my style has changed and my preferences have changed, but I still want to share with you so that you know where I came from. So here's one of the paintings. I don't know if you have this. It's a tutorial base. It's just a vase of flowers. So this is my first painting. I think I did this March 2017, something like that. March 2017. I'm quite sure that it's one of the first paintings. I think this was my second or third painting. So that's from his tutorial. So this is how I did before. I kind of liked this painting because I was following his tutorials. That's why I felt like I was learning from him. Now I'm doing my own tutorials thanks to all the teachers that have taught me some techniques and styles as well. That it's my style now is the accumulation of all the learnings from different teachers, from the painters that I like, until I've found my own style, my own subjects. So it's just one of my old paintings that I want to share with you. I actually don't plan to paint over this painting, although some of my paintings that are tutorial based have already been painted over, simply because again, those are not my style anymore, and I just consider them as learning experience. But for some paintings, some paintings I consider as special paintings, even though I was just learning back then. I don't want to paint over them because they are like my diary that speak so much about me, how I was before and how I was feeling before. That's why I don't want to I don't want to paint over this painting. And besides, it's not a bad painting anyway. It's actually very, very pretty. Alright, so let's move on to the next painting, that also a Mayne Lisandra based tutorial. This is a what do you call this one? Tower. A tower. So this is one of my first paintings, following his tutorials. So I really like this one because I think this was the first time, was one of the first times that I felt I really like the waters. That's why you can see already how I love movement in the water, and of course light. That's what I learned from him. to observe where the light source is. So this is one of my first paintings. I hope you like this one, and if you've done something similar to this following his tutorials, please let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you guys. So I'm just sharing with you my experience as a beginner when I was starting in 2017. Again, all the paintings that I'll be showing you today are 2017, or paintings that were done in 2017 when I just started. I started in March 2017. I will never ever forget that. Alright, so let's move on to the next painting, also from his tutorial. But this one, guys, to be honest, I was just so excited when he posted on YouTube the time-lapse version of his painting process. I couldn't wait anymore for the real-time video because I just liked the subject and I just liked it, and so I watched the time-lapse, and from that time-lapse, I made my own painting. Of course, looking at the time-lapse, studying it, even if it's quite speedy, I tried to like pause it and then try to learn how he did things. So I did not wait for the real-time version of his video for me to be able to paint this one, and I really liked the result. So again, back in 2017, I painted a fountain, an old fountain. Again, this is based from his tutorial that I learned so much from. Actually, without even hearing his voice when he's teaching, I can learn from his techniques. Yeah, back in 2017. I think 2017 was just a full year of me learning from teachers, from other artists, and I really appreciate that time because I was able to find my own style and my own subject. So there you go, guys. This is just an old fountain. I don't want to paint over this one because again, this reminds me so much of how I was feeling back then when I was painting this one. And if most of you, or maybe some of you, already know that I started painting when I was just so emotionally down. So everything, 2017 paintings, they were done out of the desire to really move on with my life. So I don't want to sound cheesy or anything like that, but that's how it was for me. So some paintings back in 2017 I've already painted over, but some I kept for myself for some reason, and it's like keeping my diary for as long as I can. So alright, so let's move on now to the fourth painting, also from his tutorial, because you know I was such a fan of his tutorials back then when I was still learning to, or when I was still trying to find out what style was it for me, or it was for me. So again, this was one of the first times that I appreciated the light, how to paint the light, and how to actually observe it, respect it. So there you go. This is one of my first paintings. It's just a pathway. Again, this was done back in 2017, like 4 years ago. 4 years ago, even more than 4 years ago, because this was done in March or April. So there you go, guys. I really like this one, right? I mean, I could recreate this one, but I don't want to do that because this is just part of my past. I appreciate it, I value it, but I don't want to do it again. I mean, you can apply that in real life, right? So you appreciate the past, but that doesn't mean you have to repeat it. Wow, I sound like prophetic and like a preacher or something like that. But yeah, I'm just showing you guys the past paintings of mine. Okay, so let's move on to the next. You know, they're of similar size, of the same sizes. I don't know the exact measurement of this in inches, but it's 8F. I don't know what measurement Korea used in giving the size for this canvas, but it's size 8F. So I really don't know. So whenever I go to the bookstore back in Seoul, I will just look for the size AF for practice purposes. Alright, let's move on now to the fifth painting, also from his tutorial. And for the next for the next paintings after this one, I'll be mentioning some other teachers that I've learned from. So again, this was one of the first times when I learned how to play with the light in terms of painting. So I painted this one. This is like a farm. You know, Mayne Lisandra's style, he always adds a tree on the right side. I don't know if you noticed that, but I've noticed that when I was still following his tutorials. I've noticed that he would always add a tree on the right side. I don't know if he's still doing that these days, but yeah. So I've learned how to paint something like this. Actually, what I've learned from him are techniques, how to do grasses, how to do trees, how to appreciate light, how to appreciate perspective, and how to respect perspective. So that's what I've learned from him, and I always kept that in mind. I've always kept that in mind whenever I'm painting. Yeah, it's just one of my first, guys. All right, so let's move on now to the sixth painting. So, oh, now we're changing teacher. So now let's go to Jane Font. I know most of you guys know Miss Jane Font. I really like her style sometimes. All right, I must admit that her style and my style are not really, they're not really the same, not at all. I mean, I am more inclined to be Mayne Lisandra style, especially before, but now I think we're quite different already. But with Jane Font, I only have select paintings that I really like, and I really like the way she taught me how to paint raindrops and all that, especially the raindrops. But I'm not showing you the raindrops right now because it has already been sold, so I don't have it now. So let me pull out the painting that I also like from Jane Font's tutorial. I think most of you also have this painting, and most of you have different versions of this one. Maybe you've changed the colors of some areas in this painting. Okay, let me know, get it for you guys. Okay, so this is the rainy day painting with the lady. Actually, in her video, she said that it's quite abstractish. For me, it's more impressionistic more than abstractish. That's why I don't know. For me, it's more impressionistic than abstract, because abstract, it doesn't make sense, but impressionistic, they make sense. Only that there's some sort of distortion. It's quite unfinished looking. So yeah, what I really like about this painting is the use of palette knife and black and white and just a pop of red. I think many people, I've seen so many versions of this painting, and I'm not painting over it simply because back then when I saw her post it on YouTube, I was just so excited to go home and paint it. I finished it almost the same time when she finished it, like real time. I was following it. I was following the tutorial real time, so I finished it like almost like 40 minutes. So this was quite fun and easy to do, and you can do a lot of versions of this painting. So again, I tried doing paintings in this style before, although it's no longer my style. I don't think I will ever go back to this style of painting because impressionistic and expressionism are not, or impressionism and expressionism are not really my style. I am more inclined towards realism, but I think between realism and expressionism, I am more inclined to do impressionism, especially when I'm doing landscapes and seascapes. So this one is just special to me because again, it's like memory stored in a painting, right? So there you go, guys. All right, so let me put this down and show you another painting. All right, this is how I did flowers before. It's quite different from how I do my flowers now or my floral paintings, but I have this painting. I did this, and before I was really proud of myself for doing it. So here you go. It's just a, I don't think this is the sunflower. Do you think this is a sunflower? I don't think this is not a, I don't think this is a sunflower because of a lot of petals. Maybe it is. I just followed Allison Prior for this painting. Yeah, I didn't know how to do depth before. Just look at the brush strokes here. They're not quite blended with the yellow, but I still appreciate how I tried, all right? So I really tried. I was still practicing back then. Again, this was done in 2017, 4 years ago. So I had a different way of looking at things. Now I have my own way. I am more confident when it comes to painting now. Before, I was just really learning from other people. I had to be guided by people who are more, who have been into painting for so much longer than me. So there you go, guys. So I know it's quite, I don't know if you find it a little like childish, but for me, this was my painting when I was just starting, and I want to keep it because of its significance, because of its history. So yes, let me show you another painting of mine. All right, this one, I think when I did this painting, I think I was already improving, you know, trying to find my own way of painting, trying to find my own technique. So I tried to paint. I don't know if you've been to Palawan. If you've been to the Philippines, you probably have visited Palawan. I don't know, it's just an island in the Philippines that has beautiful beaches and beautiful tourist destination. So I painted one of the like cave type of landscape. So let me show you now. I painted this on a very small canvas, much smaller than those I showed you. So there you go. So in this painting, I was already trying to do some depth on my own. I did not follow any tutorial for this one. I just got a copy of that place. So yeah, I painted the waters and I painted the cave. It was a learning experience for me, unguided by anyone. Unguided by anyone. It was just me. At first, it was nerve-wracking to be doing this without a tutor, because I've always depended on them for the success of my paintings. But this was the time when I started to learn on my own, and I wanted to practice on my own. So this is Palawan. I don't know if you've been to Palawan, guys, but I hope that you know the place. Alright, so there you go, guys. This is where I also applied some techniques that I've learned over the past few months. Again, this was done in 2017, guys. 2017. Alright, so let's move on now to, alright, this one, I tried this style. It's not my style anymore, guys, to be honest. But I still tried it because I did find it a little, like, I did find it interesting and pretty before. But again, I was trying to figure out what style was it, what style would fit me as an artist. But I'm keeping this one for two reasons. Number one, I think this is the only painting that I have this style. And number two, I did this painting when I started going to the gym. Same time. I did this painting, and that was also my first day at the gym. I don't know if you find it a little shallow, but for me, going to the gym and painting, I mean working out and like physically working out and painting, those were the big changes in my life back in 2017. So I did this painting April 14, 2017. I was about to say 2007. I did this painting 2017, April 14. That was my first day at the gym. So there you go, guys. It really looks like flat, and it's an impasto type of painting. I don't know if you can see the texture. It's really like, yeah, there you go. you can see the texture of this painting. Like, it's all bumpy and thick, right? You can see. So I followed the tutorial by Acrylic painting techniques. So he normally used palette knife in doing his paintings. So I used palette knife for this one. But instead of instead of using white acrylic paint, I used gesso for the white petals, because I thought it was a waste of paint if I used white acrylic paint. You know how important titanium white is, right? If you're an artist, you probably know how important titanium white is. So instead of using my white acrylic paint, I just use my gesso for doing this one, because they're quite thick. So I knew I'd be using a lot of white. So I decided to just use my gesso, and it's quite effective. You know, I don't really find this like pretty because it's not my style anymore, but I'm keeping this because of the date when I made it. If you can see here, it's April 14, 2017. And I have a different signature. It's just check. It doesn't have the N. So yeah, there you go, guys. Okay, so let's move on to the next painting, guys. The next painting that I'll be showing you, it has a frustrating story. Someone asked me to paint a vase of flowers because he really liked the vase of flowers painting that he saw somewhere online, and then this person asked me to redo that painting, doing my own version for that. So I did, but I don't think he liked the version that I did, so he did not make any follow-up. So I just kept the painting for myself, and I did not make a follow-up either. I did not insist in, I did not insist that he get the painting. So I just kept it for myself, but it always reminds me so much of some sort of rejection in painting wise. Even though it was not really expressly done, I felt like since he did not accept the painting, even though he asked me to paint it, I felt that it was not acceptable to him as to the likability or to the presentation of the painting. I don't know. I'm just gonna show you guys the painting that I'm talking about. So it's quite impressionistic, and well, I still have it. I don't know. There you go, guys. So he asked me to do this, but he really did not make any follow-up, and I'm not mad anymore because it's been what, 4 years already. So you can see here, it's March 2017, March 27, 2017. So yeah, I don't know if he did find this quite ugly, but for me, this is how I did the painting that he requested me to do. Yeah, so I don't know, guys. Let me know your opinion about this painting of mine, so that I'll know if this is maybe not really acceptable. But again, this is not my style anymore. Definitely not my style. I don't do backgrounds like this, quite abstract background. You know me, guys. I don't do abstract, and the flowers are quite impressionistic. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know, guys. So if you like this one, let me know as well. If you don't like it, let me know as well. It's alright, because I'm just keeping this as a diary anyway. I have my own style now, as you can see if you've watched my previous video showing you my paintings. Totally different from what I'm showing you now. Alright, so let's move on to the next. Okay, let me just place it right here so that you can still see it while I'm doing the other painting. I don't know if it's going to be a distraction to you, but yeah. So this one, the next one will be, if you know acrylic painting techniques, you probably have seen this painting over and over again over the internet. People are painting it, doing their own versions. It's just a spring pathway. So there are blue cherry blossoms, and I think many people have painted this one. I'm not painting over this one because this was one of the first paintings that I've done. And again, it's like a diary to me, so I don't want to delete it, or it's like throwing a page of my life, you know, away. I don't want to do that, so I just want to keep it for myself. Sometimes I want to give it away already, but I don't know. I think they're all worth exhibiting, right? You know, sometimes I feel like they should be included in an exhibit if I'm doing one. So it's like there will be a section there like old works. I can imagine myself like having sections of paintings or rooms where I display certain paintings that are quite related, or there's some sort of story behind them that are quite related to each other. So this one is just one of the first paintings that I did following acrylic painting techniques on YouTube. So I also like the light blend, but again, I was just starting back then, so I was just following someone, learning from someone, and it was really good. I mean, I really felt like someone was guiding me, even only online. So I hope you like this one as well. Okay, so let's move on now. Okay, let's go back to Jane Font, one of my favorite abstract expressionism artists. So she painted impressionistic poppies, and I know that most of you also have this painting, right? So there you go. I have this painting with me for years. It's done in 2017, but I'm not painting over it for, again, same reasons. The one I gave, those ones I gave you, why I'm not painting over those old paintings of mine, because even if it's no longer my style, it's like a diary for me. Whenever I see them, whenever I look at them, every time, I feel like I'm going back to time, and I feel like I know where I came from art journey wise. I know where I started, how I was feeling when I started, how I was doing when I started. So I just want to keep some paintings for myself. Again, maybe I could give them away someday, but who knows. All right, so let's move on to, I think this will be the last painting. This was Ryan O'Rourke. I don't know if you know Ryan O'Rourke tutorial. It's super easy tutorial. This is an autumn scene. I think he used, I don't know, cotton or sponge for the foliage. So this was just one of the Ryan O'Rourke painting tutorials that I did. All right, so I don't have anything much to, I don't have much to say about this one. It's just Ryan O'Rourke painting tutorial, and this was done, look at that, April 15, 2017, the day following that Impasto style painting that I just showed you. It's the second day, it's my second day at the gym. Again, I'll be speaking about gym every time I talk about painting, because they're quite interconnected in my life. I started them almost at the same time, like only a month apart. So forgive me guys if I keep on saying gym and painting all the time. So there you go. All right, so that's it guys. So I think this one is special because, you know, again, I was asked to do a painting similar to what the person likes, but it never got to him because he did not follow up. I actually showed him the painting, but he did not say anything about this one. So I think it was a no. It was a no that he's getting it, but I don't know. I don't know, what do you think? So that's it guys. So I hope you enjoyed this type of video that I've been doing. It's like showing you my works that probably some of you haven't seen yet. So all right, my camera is moving like on its own. Did you just see that? Just moved. But yeah, so this painting and all the paintings that I've shown you were done in 2017, that year when I started painting, and I'm happy that I preserved some of my works because they're like my diary. I don't feel any hatred anymore because painting has cured me. Not just that, working out has cured me. And my paintings, my old paintings, may not be my style anymore, but still they form part of who I am now as an artist. And I know that whenever I want to, I can simply go back to any styles that I want that I've tried already. And thank you to all the tutors online who have helped me become the artist that I am now. Thank you so much for the inspiration. You just don't know how much I um, appreciate your efforts, even only online. I haven't met you really personally, but you just don't know how much painting has changed my life. So thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye!